Hello everyone. If you hear any noises in the background, just ignore them. My husband is at home, he's in the other room. Are you playing Sims, Bo? He's doing something, he's either playing one of his games or watching one of his programs in the study which is next door. So, right, I'm going to start off slightly off the topics that I'm actually going to discuss. I bought some things today. I don't usually do a haul, and this really isn't a haul. One, they're stuff that's hopefully going to make the videos look better and also make the bedroom look better. I've got some little lights for behind me when I'm recording. Obviously can't see them that well on this camera because this camera's a bit poop, but trust me, they're like a nice purple. And then I have these, which is my initials, obviously, and I have some paint. I have this, which is a black hollow. You can't really, there you go, you can see the hollow. And then which is just normal hollow. So that's a little project for me to do this weekend. I've got a whole week with the husband off work. So yeah, that should be fun. Also, at any point during the stream, feel free to look down in the description. There is 3 Twitter links. The publishing house that I get published by actually has multiple companies underneath it. And one of those companies is the one I'm published through. Then there's another 2. Now, those 2, all 3 are having sales today and I think over the weekend as well for Black Friday, obviously. So I will leave those details down in the description. They are down there currently, just so that you can go and check them out. Actual fact, I will show you the Twitters now where you can have a look. Right, what am I looking for? That. Right, so you can still see me, but you can also see what I'm looking at. So, hello. Okay, so we have Hot Ink. That's for the adults in the area. We then have CHBB, which is another one. Like I said, there is a lot of sales going on at the minute with 99-cent sales, which is really good. So I would definitely recommend. And sometimes there's competitions as well, so I'll definitely follow them. And then there is what I'm published through, which is Fantasy, which is this one here. So I check them out. Also, I will pop, once this is uploaded, I will pop down the links to certain web pages so that I can show you the books that I have on sale, and then there are obviously other things as well. So that's that out of the way. I just thought I'd let you guys know so you know that there's a sale out there currently. If I go like that, just ignore me. It's cold, so my lungs aren't working as well as they normally do because I have asthma. So sometimes it causes me to cough. Right, just give me 2 secs so I can come off this bit just for a short while. Back to that one. Right.
So lots of YouTubers got their channels.
Just won't be a second, sorry, I'm just so right. So we'll get on to the topic of the actual discussion at hand, which is, there's a couple of things I want to mention, and I will go back on to the thingy in a moment. There we go. I will go back onto the website thing in a minute, because I do need to show you some stuff on Twitter. And but the first issue, I've put a couple of videos about it down in the archives as well, which is the issue that happened yesterday with several channels getting deleted. Now, iDubbbz, Mr. Epsilon, Miley Cyrus, and Keemstar and a few others got the channels deleted. And sorry. And obviously everybody panicked, as you can imagine. Now, YouTube have since fixed this situation, but it took several people kicking off at them, and I mean, when I say several, I mean several, for it to happen. Now, they've not come out, they've just said there was a technical issue, but they've not come out and said what the technical issue was. And the fact that the error was so specific, instead of it just saying this channel cannot be found, it actually said this channel cannot be found due to violation of community guidelines, which they hadn't. None of them had strikes, obviously. All channels were still in good standing. Repzion was actually live streaming when it happened. So there was no community guidelines broken at any point, because nobody got a warning. There was no email, no nothing. It just happened. Now, this shouldn't happen, because apparently it happened it happened last year sometime as well, apparently. I've just been watching Wild Spider's video on it, and he reminded us that it had happened before, which is ridiculous. Why, if it's already happened before, why would you allow it to happen again? And then when people bring it to your attention, oh, sorry, it's just a technical glitch. What? So, right, I will go back to sharing the screen so you can see what I say. There we go. Right, so you can see what I see now. So, so Phil, 21 hours ago, said, I think YouTube has just removed iDubbbz channel. What the? And then he says, update, my contact with YouTube is contacting the emergency off-hours team. My best guess is I will hear back from the chat. Hear back that the channel terminations are a mistake and not intended. The channels affected are two random iDubbbz and Conan O'Brien. That seems like a mistake, not a statement. Looks like they are fixing it. iDubbbz is back along with a few others. KK back to Thanksgiving food coma. Now, we will go over to Mr. Reps here. Now, I know Rep's done a video on it as well already. I know Wild Sparta's done a video on it as well. So I will check those out. So you have, this is Rep's video. He's still kept the vast majority of his subscriber count. I think the views are still pretty up there from what I can see, which is great. But why did it happen? And things are apparently settling back into normal. See, that's weird, because on this page it's showing all these videos. Loads of videos, it's only showing that one. So there is still a bit of an issue. Alright, we'll go to iDubbbz. iDubbbz. Right. So this is iDubbbz. still doing okay. Now, why they are not telling us any more details, I don't know. And whether it's got something to do with the fact that they're changing the bot to deal with the second issue I'm going to talk about. Whether it's something to do with that, or whether it is something a bit more underhand, I don't know. I just, like, not long ago, a Twitter employee that was on his last day had basically turned around and said, right, deuces, I'm out of here, and actually deleted Trump's Twitter for it only happened for a couple of hours. Whether it was something along those lines, which I really don't want to say and I really don't want to think, but it is entirely possible. Now, there is a possibility that it is just a technical issue. But with a company the size of YouTube, technical issues like this should never happen. Some of the issues that we have with YouTube should not happen at all, in any way. That's just my opinion, and I'm entitled to that opinion. But the channels were too random for it to be a statement. If it was a true purge, then you'd imagine channels like the Warskis and a whole lot of the nasty underhand channels. I'm not saying the Warskis are. I'm just saying there are really nasty channels out there. Right, the second issue, which is there's 2 videos on this that Phil's done. Sorry, one sec. Did it down in the iCard. And what they are is YouTube Kids have been. There's videos on YouTube Kids and on YouTube in general where you've got Elsa doing certain activities, or Spider-Man, or things like that, and the actual stuff that the characters are doing is horrible. Now I'm just going to go back. Right, no, further back.
What's up, you beautiful bastards? I hope you have a...
Right. I'm going to stop my audio a second. No. Right, so.
What's up, you beautiful bastards? I hope you're having a fantastic Friday.
Right, sorry, Bill. Sorry, Phil. I'm going to shut you up for a minute. So, this is like the silly stuff that it's doing, and these are being geared towards kids, because that's Snow Patrol, Minnie Mouse, and a princess. What the? And I actually have a friend who's got a 3-year-old girl, and because I knew this was happening because I'd seen a couple of other people cover it, I actually warned her. And then a couple of days after I warned her, it happened. She was live streaming YouTube on her telly for my niece, my surrogate niece. And then one of these videos came up, and luckily she managed to take it off in time before she got to the little girl saw anything. But still, luckily our nephew is 7. He generally doesn't watch things like this on YouTube anyway, because he's over the whole Paw Patrol comic things phase anyway. But these channels are supposed to be getting taken down, and some have. But the only problem is the existence of these channels and YouTube's ignorance of their existence. Even though there have been people that have been saying this for a year, and YouTube haven't listened, and then now some of the advertisers are looking at it going, what's this? And obviously there is a possibility of issues on that front. Whether it causes a full-blown apocalypse, we'll have to wait and see. Though I dare say Onision will blame. I dare say Onision will blame PewDiePie. He blames PewDiePie for everything. So, Go back onto that. There you go. And it's ridiculous that these things, people trust YouTube to be a company that is working for the best of most people. The only problem is not necessarily the truth, and not necessarily something that, excuse me, sorry, not necessarily the truth. It's not necessarily the way it works. Before anything else, YouTube is a business, and as part of it being a business, they are entitled to do and say as they want, and that is unfortunately the way things are in a business sense. Sorry, I've got hiccups. And when you see things like this happening on a platform that you care about, obviously it kind of jades you a little bit, and it can affect your faith in said company. I know Reps, one of the things that Reps is doing is he's gone back to school, which I commend him for, because YouTube's not paying him enough for him to live off. So he's going back to school, and you know, he's actually doing something about it, not like a certain other person who expects people to pay him for sitting down and making videos when he doesn't have the first idea about business. But, the fact that YouTube aren't seeing this as the actual issue that it is mind-blowing to me. It is mind-blowing, and it's a problem in so many ways it's untrue. They're demonetizing videos left, right and centre. I had a video that was demonetized, and then it was manually reviewed, so it was remonetized, and then now they've demonetized it again. What? God, it's an old video. It's from, I think it was one of the first videos I ever did, that wasn't a book trailer. But still, it's one of those things that I know they're trying to fix things, but at the same time they're trying to fix things, they're knocking people's confidence in the platform. Now, when you have a business like, for the likes, talking about the likes of Matthias and Phil, you have a lot of staff, and you have to pay those staff, and you rely on the money coming in from the videos to do that. Now, luckily with Phil, he knows that because of the topics that he covers, a lot of his videos are likely to get demonetized. Shouldn't be that way, because people still run ads on the news, which is exactly what Phil does. So where's the issue? Where's the problem? So the YouTuber saying, yeah, but if you're talking about these particular types of subjects, it's like, yeah, but it's news. It's not like they're glorifying it. They're not saying, oh, you should be doing this. They're not saying that. What Phil's doing is he's saying, this is what's happened, this is why it's happened, and this is what the police are doing, or the authorities, or whoever are doing, or the company, etc. And that's how Phil works. And then he'll give his opinion. I've already covered this on videos. And YouTube don't seem to get the fact that news businesses are a business just like YouTube is. Now, luckily for Phil, he does have Patreon. And I've said before, and I will say again, I agree with people having Patreon that are a business, that have multiple staff members, that actually know how to run a business. I don't agree with people having Patreons that are just sat there doing nothing and just recording in the room. If that's, to me, is, I record in my room. That's where I currently am. I would show you the camera, but I would move the camera, but it's not exactly the tightest at the minute. But at the end of the day, if it's just yourself and you don't have staff like Matthias or Phil or Mark, then to me that's a hobby. Yes, you can making enough money to make it a business. But then when you make it a business, then you have to run it like a business. And if you don't run it like a business, then you're going to screw yourself over, which a certain person has done. But YouTube are strangling people at the moment with the way they are demonetizing things, why they are not showing certain people's videos in search algorithms and things like that. And to me, it's not fair, it's not right that just because you do a video on a specific subject that you believe in. I'll use myself as an example. I did a video this week. Actually, in fact, I'll go back onto just one sec. Right, I'll go back onto share screen. Right, so my video dashboard. Right, this video that I did here, the MLG one, that's demonetized. Now, luckily, it does seem to have been recommended in the search algorithm because it does have a decent amount of views. Now, that is demonetized, but I was expecting that to get demonetized. It's completely understandable for that to be demonetized. See, demonetized. My Manson one's not. Strange. Never mind. But yeah, the MLG one is demonetized, and I expected that. But it has shown up in people's search algorithms, or else it wouldn't be there. It wouldn't have that many views. But it doesn't necessarily happen for everybody. And then we also have the issues with the notification bell, where people's notification bells aren't working and they're not getting notified of things. It's one issue that Matthias is having. It's one issue that Rob's having. Now, Rob, he has people that work for him, and he's struggling because of the type of content he does. And he does do other things to help supplement the income. And unfortunately, I don't think it's helping him. He seems very down about it all. And it just seems that every time he uploads videos, it hurts his channel in some way, which I feel bad for him. You know, my heart breaks for him because he's put a lot of years into this channel. He's doing things that he believes in, and he's doing things that he wants to share with other people. And to me, that is unfair, and it's not right for him to suffer so much just because of the topics that he covers, because some of the topics that he covers can be controversial, some of them can't be. But this glitch, and this is, I don't know whether this is part of it or not, but I noticed over the last couple of days, because I live streamed last night, and then on Wednesday I was doing a lot of editing, which is normal. I usually edit Tuesday, Wednesdays, and I noticed that although my subscription, and I'll show you what I mean, back to share, right, go to dashboard, right here, it says 229 subscribers, sorry, 129 subscribers, and it shows that I've not gained any over the last couple of days, although my bell icon tells me different. But it also didn't tell me that I've lost any. So it's a bit weird because I did actually gain a subscriber yesterday and gain one today, but I lost one, so I don't know whether that just equals it out. I don't know, but that was a bit weird. Very weird, in fact. But hopefully YouTube will start to fix itself soon, because a lot of people are getting really upset about it all, and they are getting really miffed at it all, and it's aggravating because people want to believe in this platform and they want to share their life and share their experiences and share their opinions and share their thoughts on specific subjects, and they're struggling to do that because of the amount of roadblocks that YouTube is either intentionally or unintentionally putting in their way. Now, it happens for a lot of people, and it really is getting to the point where people are losing faith in the platform, because one of the golden boys of YouTube has some of the worst allegations about him, but he's still seen as the golden boy. But those of us that are trying to expose some of the people on YouTube for the nastiness that they are, like Amos Yee, are getting crucified and are getting penalised for trying to expose these people. I really feel bad for smaller channels, and they do try and make it as good of a business as possible, but when you are constantly getting hit down over and over and over again, it can knock your face. And unfortunately, poor Rob, I think that's what Rob's going through at the minute. I just wish I could I could just scream some sense into him, because I love his content. I love it. I love anything spooky. Me and the other half were watching Shane's spooky videos earlier, which was fun. You know, I love watching spooky stuff. I'm a horror writer, why wouldn't I? But to me, YouTube is meant to help people, but the type of demonetization that's happening is working more as censorship than anything else, because it is stifling channels. Rainbow is another channel that I watch sometimes, and she has had to resort to Patreon. And like I say, I have a love-hate relationship with Patreon. I understand some people doing it, but when you're somebody who doesn't seem to understand business, I'm not going to say his name, but if you're somebody who understands business, it makes sense. But if you don't understand business and you don't want to have a normal job, and you think that YouTube should pay your bills, because when in Reptian's video he actually says that he doesn't expect people, he's not expecting YouTube to pay his bills, and he's not expecting other people to pay his bills. He does do, he has a link for Amazon where you can shop on Amazon, and if you use his link, he'll get like a bit of a commission off that, which to me is a good idea, and he'll then use that money for school supplies. Now, that's great. To me, I don't have an issue with that. And he sells pictures of his feet, which, fine, completely up to you. You do you. That's fine. But at the end of the day, YouTube is stifling channels that shouldn't be being stifled, and then they are putting ads on videos that are completely inappropriate for children, but they're supposed to be children's videos on children's channels on the children's app. So there is a lot of issues going on at the minute, and YouTube are sort of struggling with it in a lot of ways, and it's frustrating a lot of people, including me. Now, I don't make money on YouTube. I've never made a cent. I'll go back to sharing my screen so you can see what I mean. Here. There we go. Right. So, right, I will show you dashboard. Right. This, I actually did go through this yesterday, but I'll go through it again today. This is the dashboard, and this is your analytics. It's like a quick analytics for the last 28 days, and that's how much money I've made. Now, when you get your money through AdSense, you've got to make, in this country, I think it's £60 before you can pull any of it out. Luckily, it accumulates over time. So I think last time I looked, I were at £16 or something. So I'm just thinking, right, just times that by, just that another 3 times over, and I'll be done. And it'll help with Christmas presents. But I do know that this time of year is probably the perfect time for a boost in ads, because it's the warm up to Christmas, so it's like November, December is quite a good time for CPMs. So, but yeah, it's weird that a lot of people think, oh, you know, being a YouTuber must be fun, and oh, it must be great to, you know, be self-sufficient. Yeah, it works for some people, but not everybody. Like I say, with Phil, because he's a business, he's a good businessman. Come on, he created a business, sold it to Discovery. He managed to buy some of it back, but not all of it. Hence why we lost such a nerd. And he's recreated that success again, and he's going to continue to do that. Obviously, it's going to take time because they need to get the appropriate staff in, to get the studio space, because that's another thing they're struggling with at the minute, is the amount of space that they have. If the camera moves, I'm sorry, it's because I'm on the bed and I'm like moving, so it moves the table that the desk is on. So, you know, right, it's heart-wrenching because people want to believe in these platforms so much, and they want to believe that the platform is there for everybody, but when it's promoting channels that shouldn't be promoted to children, and then the channels that are trying to prevent these things from getting to kids and trying to expose these things to people so that they don't allow the kids to see it are getting stifled, it isn't fair. Now, like I say, some of the more controversial channels in YouTube's mind might not be for us, like, for example, Philip and Rob. They are having to learn and adapt, but sometimes because you get constantly hit and hit and hit with demonetization after demonetization, no matter what you do, it even happens to PewDiePie. You can get hit over and over and over and over and over again. It starts to bash down your confidence. And it's like sometimes I get like that, where I get like a couple of videos that are demonetized. It's like this week and last week I had 2 videos this week that got demonetized. That shouldn't have been demonetized, and the video that should have been demonetized wasn't, but now they flipped it, so it's fine. And then a couple of weeks ago I had the exact same thing happen, where 2 videos that shouldn't have been demonetized were demonetized, and 1 video that should have been demonetized wasn't. So it's like, you know, the other week I did have this hit, and I was like, right, okay, just breathe. So when it happened again this week, I said, hold up a minute. And I tweeted them and said, hold up a minute, why is this happening? The first time I actually said, look, you need to sort this out, and then this time they've done a few. But come on, YouTube, fix it. I want this platform to be the best type of platform it can be for the people that work on the platform, that have a business on the platform, have a vested interest in the platform. I want the platform to be great. And things like this are causing people to be a little bit more guarded and a little bit more, a little bit more. So, but yeah, it's one of those things that at the minute don't rely on YouTube for income, because everything is too up in the air, everything is too erratic with AdSense, with the issues that we're having, where we fix one issue and then another one crops up. But because there is no competitor to YouTube at the minute, it does cause a problem in the long run, because there's nowhere we can go. VidMe doesn't have anywhere near the amount of features that YouTube does. And while Twitch is great, you can't just sit and do things in Twitch. You have to be doing something, whether it's playing a game or something creative. I can't really do things like that when I'm writing because I can't do it. It's not something that I'm able to do. What I might do is I might start live streaming, making my posters and stuff. I might start doing that and showing people how I make my posters and things like that. I might start live streaming that because at the minute this laptop won't live stream games. I can play a game or I can live stream. I can't do both. But we're saving up at the minute to get a new one. So yeah. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend seeing YouTube as your sole source of income unless you have people that are willing to pay for the best setup and everything else. Or you are extremely lucky. It's not great at all. It's not great at all. But yeah, this week's not been a great week. I've had to talk about the one topic that not only maddens me, but it upsets me. And while I was talking about it, you actually didn't hear this because I had to cut it out. My husband was downstairs, and because of the topic of conversation, he slammed the door because it's the type of conversation he hates. We have a few children in our lives, and if somebody did that to any of those kids, I'd flip and but yeah. Let me think. Is there anything else I want to talk about? There was a funny story. Yeah, I'll tell you this. Whether or not she'll see this or not, I don't know. Some of you may or may not be aware, when I did one of my first videos on Joy, somebody contacted me. She was a lovely lady, she's in a wheelchair, and she'd been going through some stuff with some people, because she'd done a video about Joy, and she said that she didn't like Joy, and these people jumped on her. Now, this particular woman, she doesn't have the mindset that I do. Just one sec. Oh, sorry. Hip. Ow. Oh. Just one sec. See if you can still see me here. It's just my hips being a bit of a pain. Yeah, you can still see me. And what happened was, she would retaliate. They'd say something, she'd retaliate, so they'd say something again. And I actually said, I sent Joy a tweet saying, can you tell your people to stop picking on people, because this is one of the things that's happening. I got a lot of pushback on it off a couple of people within this group, and they're saying, yeah, but she's done this, the woman that's in the wheelchair, she's done this, and she's done this, and she's done this. And it's like, turns out that, and I knew this for a fact, but they weren't willing to listen, that she hadn't done any of these issues, that it was the main issue that they had with her, actually it was somebody else who'd done it. And I was on YouNow after I streamed last night, and she actually showed up on my YouNow. She didn't say anything. One of the ones that was probably one of the nastiest actually showed up on my YouNow, but she never said anything, which is good. Which is weird, because she has been blocked on Twitter, so how would she know I was on YouNow? She's not blocked me on YouNow, though. So, but yeah. So much going on this platform at the minute. Sometimes you just feel like banging your head against a brick wall when it comes to stuff like this. And you want the platform to be great, but when you see some of the videos and when you see some of the content that are on these channels where children are being used over and over and over again, it's like, Some people say family vloggers are exploitive. But the thing is with family vloggers, people say, yeah, but you're putting a camera in front of your kid for like, all these hours, isn't the laws against it? Double check, one sec. Ow, ow, ow. Settle down a bit. Okay, I can move it back now. That's better. I have to move my hip so I can settle a bit. Right, child exploitation laws, US. Okay. Child labour laws, right. Restricts the hours, hazardous. Yeah, they're only allowed to work for a certain amount of time. Due to safety and things. Anybody over the age of 16 can be employed for unlimited hours in non-hazardous occupations, and then obviously after 18 it differs even more. Trying to see if it can actually tell me how long. But while children in other sectors must be 12 to be employed, cannot work more than 3 hours on a school day. In agriculture, children that can work at the age of 12 unlimited hours before, but that's to do with farm workers. But lots of people say, oh, but child labour laws that if you're a family vlogger, you put in the camera in front of your kids, and you're doing it all the time. And it's like, actually, no. A perfect example. Right. I'm going to go back onto share just quickly, check. Okay, let's have a look. 0. Right. So we will go on to Living Rosa. There aren't many family vloggers I watch. Right. So, bear in mind there's 24 hours in a day. Right? So, I won't play the video. Right. So this is a video that they did last weekend. It was one of the Lennon's presents was to go and see Disney on Ice. So they went to Disney, and it's a 17-minute vlog, just short of 18 minutes, out of a full 24-hour day. Now, whether there was an hour of footage, fine. At the end of the day, if you are using the extreme of, say, Michael Jackson, when he was a kid, if he wasn't at school, they were rehearsing, and they rehearsed for hours and hours. That's child exploitation. Family vlogging to me isn't child exploitation unless you are doing it for hours and hours and hours a day. The channels that Phil was having the issue with, I'll go back to the video he was showing us, because the other video is let's have a look. Let's have a look. Right. So that's that one. Right. The other one, which is the one he did Thursday. In this one, there were videos of one child who'd apparently peed on their sibling. Excuse me. And it's, to me, that is because you are doing putting children under something that's that can be seen as like a sexualized behavior is problematic. And I hate using that word. But it's one of those things where you look at it and you go, your entire body just clenches. Because you're thinking, why would you do a video like that? There's channels where people use needles, hypodermic needles, that hospitals use, and inject things into dolls. And oh, it makes you feel wrong inside. Ugh, it makes me feel sick. And these channels are exploiting kids in the worst possible sense in the world. Talking about Rainbow, there's one of the videos here. She's done a video on this topic. This is Rainbow. This one actually has an add-on, which I'm quite glad of. And it's the whole issue is being called the Elsa Gate because it all kicked off because of videos of Elsa doing things that was unfair. So you've got weird videos here. You've got unboxings, which I don't really have an issue with, but this is what I was on about. Big, massive needle. And then there's this one where somebody's taking a scalpel and cutting into sweets and taking the ears off. And it's like H3 and H3 covered it. It's like Bad Baby Doll, Spider-Man, those colours, bath time. Ugh. And you've got this one, Love Story. Ugh. And then you've got this one, Spider-Man and Joker at school learning body parts. And then you've got people that are now, a lot of these channels that are using animation, that are using like Elsa and Mickey and things like that, are actually being caught and being taken down through copyright strikes more than the whole violating YouTube's terms of service, which they should be violated. And there's a video here about Elsa putting on weight, and you've got videos here that are again, you've got Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse, baby's scrambled toilet, Mickey and Minnie Mouse scrambled surprise, Mickey and Minnie Mouse love story, Mickey and Minnie Mouse transform Superman in a bikini. And it's like, why do this to kids? And then you have weird games. I know Dad has been covering a few of these, where it's weird games where you're tattooing kids. And these videos, that people are doing videos on these games, and people are doing videos with Elsa and other comic characters like Paw Patrol and Spider-Man, and they're doing these videos, and it's showing up on YouTube, the YouTube Kids app, and kids are watching it, and I'm sorry, it just makes everything inside me just, no, sorry, but no. It makes me feel sick. Alright, I'm gonna have to come off before I start being sick. I'm gonna have to come off and calm down before I get really upset. Anyway. But yeah, I just had to say that I got peeved off with the whole YouTube shutting channels down that didn't have any reason to be shut down for, and then this whole thing with the whole children's it makes me feel sick. And like I said, I had to tell my friend who's got a 3-year-old girl who literally loves YouTube, because she likes all the fairy tale, the nursery rhymes and stuff that are on there. And I'm like, you have to be careful. This is the type of stuff. And she's like, oh. So thankfully, she's keeping a very, very close eye on it. Thankfully, anyway. I'm going to come off and calm myself down. Stay safe. Oh, and a quick reminder before I go. Like I said, down in the description you will see the links to the Twitters for the 3 publishing houses for you to go and check out. And I would really, really, really appreciate it if you did. Like I said, there are some books that are free, and there are some books that are only like $1. So stay safe, be good, have fun, and I will see you extremely soon.